So the best way for people to protect dolphins is to maintain separation distances. Dolphins are clever, inquisitive animals, and they live in social family groups. It's not unusual for dolphins to swim up to boats and even bow ride or approach kayakers and paddleboarders. It's quite wonderful when a dolphin chooses to come close, but it's also important to maintain a safe distance. All marine mammals are protected under the Biodiversity Conservation Act and regulations. This includes protection from being harassed and the distances that must be maintained. Distances for marine mammals such as dolphins include 50 metres from a person in the water, 100 metres in a vessel, that includes jet skis, and 60 metres for drones. It's also important to note that the state laws do not permit dogs to chase animals, and owners can attract fines of up to $3,000, which they're liable to pay. Separation distances ensure that dolphins are able to live as wild animals, free from harassment and disturbance, and ensures they continue to enjoy coastal waters and for our future generations to be able to observe them. Dolphins need to feed, rest and care for their young, free from human disturbance, and we ask that you enjoy dolphins from a distance. So when you see dolphins, please reduce your speed. In WA, the Biodiversity Conservation Act and Regulations sets the minimum separation distances for marine fauna, such as dolphins and whales. The distances are put in place to ensure the dolphins' natural behaviours are not disturbed. It includes behaviours such as resting, foraging and calving, and it decreases the likelihood of negative interactions such as collisions and entanglements. The separation distances are set out in the Biodiversity Conservation Regs of 2018. It also is worth noting that the department has granted licences to certain tourism operators in Bunbury and Rockingham, and the department also runs the Monkey Mire dolphin experiences, and that allows the beach distances to stipulated in state legislation under strict conditions. These licensed activities are undertaken under strict protocols and closely monitored by the department. Offences for disturbing a cetacean can carry a maximum fine of $500,000 under the Biodiversity Conservation Regulations, but the department will take an educative approach to the issue. The legislation is not intended for use in confined waterways and artificial canals, where it's impossible to maintain the minimum separation distances at all times. These waterways are typically shared by multiple users and limited in speed to ensure that all users' activities can occur safely. The intent of the legislation is to conserve biodiversity while still allowing for sustainable use of the environment. And by adhering to separation distances, this can be achieved. There will be circumstances where it's not possible for boat users to adhere to these separation distances, and it might cause frustration for volunteers when trying to educate the community. The department does take into consideration many factors when investigating an incident and will take the most appropriate course of action. Trained Dolphin Watch volunteers can support DBCA and share the required separation distances with your friends, your family and on social media. If you do see any sick or injured wildlife or someone you think you might be doing the wrong thing, please report it to the Wildcare helpline. The number is 94749055. Information that we can use include the time, the date and the location. It's also, if it's safe to do so, please record any registration and licence details and any other descriptions of the offence that you think is being committed. You can also provide photos and videos for further context, if safe to do so. And high resolution photos of things like entanglements can also be sent through to Wildlife Protection Branch, and that can assist with the individual's animal body condition and behaviour. Please note that DBCA and wildlife officers can't discuss investigations or the outcomes once underway. So the department and wildlife officers only want what's best for the outcome of the animal, and sometimes that means euthanasia if there is no quality of life. We always try and hope for the best outcome for the animal, but if the prognosis isn't good, we certainly don't want to prolong any suffering the animal might have, and were forced to make tough decisions in the animal's best interest to minimise that pain and suffering. The prognosis is determined in line with all relevant policies and procedures. So what else can people do to support dolphin conservation? You can please take your rubbish home with you. Includes fishing line, bags, anything that you find that can entangle dolphins. You might also like to contact your local council to organise beach or river cleanups, and you can also register to become a Dolphin Watch volunteer by contacting the department. If you'd like to enjoy a closer dolphin experience, there are also programs that offer this experience under strictly managed conditions to ensure it is safe and ensures animal welfare.